One amazing new picture of William and Catherine for their 13th wedding anniversary. The outrageous idea of Harry and Meghan going to Nigeria, and including, but not limited to, some fresh memes. This and more on tonight's show. Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And tonight, I want to start highlighting this awesome new picture of William and Catherine on their 13th wedding anniversary, taken by Millie Pilkington on that day. First of all, well, they look magnificent and as cute as a couple can be. If you look close enough, you can make out a hint of nervousness in their smiles, but that's perfectly normal. Anyone would say that it's expected on a day like that. The fact that the photo is in black and white adds to that effect with that huge contrast between the darker background and the light of the windows on their faces. There have been all sorts of reactions to this. Everyone has been delighted with this treat. And of course, it's also the fact that we haven't seen Catherine in a while that makes us value these gestures from them even more. And this is when I noticed that I haven't made a proper analysis of their engagement interview. And this is something that I should do at some point. The best way will be in one of those longer lives, right? And then publish a summary, a shorter version after that. Those were the body language guide days, and you might have noticed that I have been moving some of my analysis to this channel in the past days. Well, some royal analyses are going to stay there, but the vast majority are going to find their new home here on the Royal Road. But one analysis that I actually did was indeed my first analysis of William and Catherine as a couple. This was back in 2021, and I remember that the most important clip that caught my attention was them having ice cream in South Wales. And you might ask why. Well, for a couple of reasons. The first one is how they felt so relaxed, both with each other and with the people who were with them at the ice cream shop. And the second one was how Catherine looked at William. It's not that the way William looked at Catherine was not relevant, but in this case, the person filming was doing it from this angle, so it was Catherine's face in full display. So you see the tilted head, the relaxed shoulders, her eyes on his, and more than once, her eyes drifting off to his mouth. You know that this is a signal of attraction, and it was marvelous to see in such detail. And up to their most recent appearances, that body language remains undefeated. So, cheers for them, and their fans delivered so many great pictures, but this is a special one, thanks to Andy's mom. Happy anniversary to the Prince and Princess of Wales. How far you have come, and the promise of so much more. And this is the kind of pictures that get to your heart instantly, not only because of the cute subjects, but the fact that it reinforces what we have been witnessing so long. A love story unfolding in front of our eyes in real time. And so many pictures that we could mention that we could spend an entire afternoon just talking about them. What more could you want? And maybe at some point, we should do a live marathon on William and Catherine. I have not done a live stream in ages. What do you think? But now, we have this. In a suspicious blend of wanderlust and the need for attention, Gingerbread, along with his never-glamorous Duchess of Sausages, is set to take Nigeria off their world tour bingo card. The John follows Harry's pit stop in the UK to celebrate the 10-year reunion of the Invictus Games, a festivity held at St. Paul's Cathedral, which might just boast a guest list with fewer family members than a Game of Thrones wedding. And the Duke's worldwide UK visit, the first since he dropped in to use the King's post-cancer diagnosis to remain relevant, promises a riveting reading from Harry at a service of Thanksgiving. Indeed, the congregation will be graced, not with royal presence of the cheapest grade, but with the dramatic recitation of the Invictus poem by actor Damian Lewis, because nothing says military sports event quite like the guy from Billions. But to be fair, Damian Lewis is a terrific actor. You remember that Harry said that Damian would be his first pick to play him, right? But who is going to believe that Damian could do something like this? I mean, he is a great actor, and I'm sure he could play any kind of role. But I don't know how would he be able to downgrade such a powerful body language to play the wimpiest of men to grace the covers of People magazine in recent history. No, that just doesn't fit. And that proves how delusional is Harry, because precisely Harry thinks, or maybe a better word is Harry really believes that he's got a character just like Damian Lewis, so he should play him. How delusional, right? Well, post UK, the royal itinerary points to Nigeria, where the not that royal couple will dive into cultural activities and mingle with service members, all while the local press buzzes with excitement over hosting pseudo-royalty with actual 43% certified Nigerian roots. It's the duo's inaugural visit as a couple, adding a delightful twist of first-time charm to their global escapades. As for the sausage progeny, the attendance remains a mystery shrouded in the fog of Buckingham Palace's finest tea. But now I have a question. Something that I was wondering, reading your posts on X. Is Nigeria dangerous? Asking for a friend. And you must remember that I'm from Venezuela, so there are levels to this game. And that might be the reason that I have been asked more than a couple times if it's safe to go to Venezuela. After all, we've got the most amazing places that you can imagine, such as the Angel Falls, the tallest falls in the entire world. It's a sight to behold. But if you ask me, is Venezuela safe? Well, I'd say yes and no. The best heuristic is, as long as you stay away from anything that looks like this, you will be okay. But it's also very, very helpful if you get yourself a local guide. I lived there more than 3 decades and I really never felt unsafe. But of course, you always make sure to keep your car doors closed and the windows rolled up, because the moment you hear a motorcycle going down the street with 2 guys and it does an U-turn, you know it's game over. But anyway, if you decide to visit Venezuela, make sure you get yourself one of this, because the moment you wear it, everybody will assume you have no money, but no brains either. But I think that's a good trade-off. But now, back to the Nigeria topic. I got some responses, and I understand that Murky Meg was going to delve into this, but there are a lot of warnings from the United States and the United Kingdom's authorities that, well, if you like to be kidnapped, then Nigeria is the place to be. Again, I can only talk about Venezuela from a native experience, so I don't feel as comfortable saying that a country that I have never been to is unsafe. But again, the graphic on the website shared by Murky speaks for itself. It's like, you can travel here, but you're on your own. So it's baffling that the Montecito duo, who seem to need bodyguards while in effing Canada, how are they going to deal with a country that has a well-documented issue with kidnapping? And not to mention other things that I cannot say out loud in here. But that is the article's logic. And also thanks to Murky Meg, this is especially funny because in the formal communication of the defense headquarters of Nigeria, they call Harry, wait for it, the Duke of Duchess. And yes, Harry's metamorphosis is complete. The next step will be calling him the Duke of Meghan, which sounds like a series from the Hallmark Channel. But again, anything is possible in the land of the ex-royals. But you know that every single opportunity will be fair game to make fun of the articles, because even fashion magazines will find ways to troll Meghan in one way or another. Take, for instance, Tatler magazines, thanks to this tweet from Lucy Piper. Did Tatler just insult Meg's fashion sense? Read the caption below the photo, and that was a great way to attract people's attention, Lucy, because when I went for the caption, oh boy, the caption says, while a working member of the royal family, the Duchess of Sausages is not believed to have had a stylist. Oh my god. I want to believe that these are silent anti-sausages hidden in plain sight, writing these lines. So much mean material. But on the other hand, this seems designed to give Meghan a pass in her sense of fashion, or lack of it, because I don't know how she's got that amazing ability to keep attracting attention to herself with dresses that absolutely do not flatter her figure. Well, at least American Riviera Horchard is a lifestyle brand and not a clothing brand. And what are those small pom-poms? Are those Harry's balls? I mean the balls that Harry uses to juggle at the garden? But who knows? This is, hands down, one of those moments in which I must ask the question, who wore it better? And it is not surprising that some curtains found randomly on the internet, some real curtains, not generated by AI or anything, match the Duchess style to the point of looking way better. Never in a million years would have I thought that the discounted Duchess was going to be a never-ending source of memes, even with pictures taken so long ago. Because if all else fails, I always have references such as Meghan's mole, who reminds me who actually wore it better. And is this on purpose? How many times have we seen Meghan copying Catherine? But in this case, it was a double whammy when the Duchess tried and failed with her husband. But, roguies, I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I am the Royal Rogue, and remember, much love and bliss.